Well, we loved the trailer for Razors, and it's about Jack the Ripper.
But what the fuck happened?
Just to let everyone know, this is a spoiler review. Not that anyone's watched this movie, but we are going to spoil it.
Alright, so let's go and talk the plot-ish.
Maybe?
Yeah, wow, this one's tough. So, from what I was able to piece together, some, I can't say kids, because they're older.
College students?
They're supposed to be, but they're not. Gather somewhere with some guy that may or may not be a teacher, mentor, I guess ostensibly under the guise of writing a film script that's scary.
We're looking for your group in the next few days to really deliver. We need that killer concept, that box office kicker.
To win some contract or something.
We think.
We don't, yeah, it's somehow Jack the Ripper's, I can't even say Jack the Ripper. Chuck the Ripper. Chuck the Ripper, which will be explained later, somehow shows up and wreaks havoc.
Oh wait, weren't they descendants?
I don't even know. Alright, so we always start off with likes, and I will reserve mine and ask you what yours were.
Okay, I have one.
Oh, alright.
Yeah, I do,
Okay.
for real. This movie was a great cure for my insomnia.
Oh my.
I'm having a lot of trouble sleeping. I don't sleep through the whole night. It's been kind of I wake up a lot. It's an issue. And man, I slept like a baby during this movie.
Yeah.
So thanks. That helped.
Yeah, that's actually legit.
I did legitimately fall asleep during this movie.
I kind of looked over to the side and I'm like, wow, Lexus is asleep. And folks, trust me, that doesn't happen.
No.
That does not happen.
I don't think you've ever seen me sleep.
No, not at all. No. No, and to see that during a movie? Ooh,
I had to actually get him to summarize, like, what, the last 45 minutes, half hour? I don't know how the movie ended. I didn't care. I was asleep.
100 hours, it seemed like. I don't know. But
so that was my like. I slept great. Did you have any?
No. So we'll jump right on into dislikes, and I obviously have a few, so I'll let you start.
I disliked the whole movie.
Okay. Well, I can't even argue with that point. Instead, I will say that I also disliked the whole movie, but let's break it down, shall we?
Okay,
Just to
I guess.
be fair.
Well, I'm gonna say I disliked the part of the movie that I saw.
And you saw enough.
I didn't see the end.
Yeah.
So I disliked the 10 hours that I did see.
Yeah. So,
Which is actually a legitimate dislike. The movie felt like it was hours long.
Right, yeah.
Hours. It was an hour and a half? An hour and something?
Yeah. It's actual real life running time, yes, was an hour and a half.
It felt like 10.
Easily.
Yeah,
it went on and on and on. So let's just kind of do a quick breakdown. Let's hit up maybe say the big four when it comes to movie making. You know, acting, writing, directing, cinematography.
It's all terrible.
It's all terrible. You know, we'll start right off the bat with say like the writing. There was like the knives. They were prominently featured in the trailer.
As the plot.
As the plot.
The plot of that the trailer gives us is that they find the knives that Jack the Ripper used in 1888.
The knives in the box were used by Jack the Ripper to commit his murders back in 1888.
Right. And then in the movie,
that had nothing to do with anything.
Some girl shows up, claims to have the knives, and then we never really see them again.
Yeah, she had them in a box that never gets opened, and they don't have anything to do with the plot.
Right, yeah, but then above and beyond that, the whole writing of like why they're there and what they're doing just doesn't make any sense.
It's hard to follow.
There's plot holes, everywhere. Yeah, it's just an absolute mess on that level. The direction. Non-existent, I feel like, from the standpoint of we just didn't have any clear direction in the movie, so to speak, of where we were going and what was happening. What we were seeing. They would, be in some room and then they're in some hall or something, and you don't understand why.
There were a lot of shots of this one hallway over and over, and then there was a little girl.
He's here.
I'm not really sure what she had to do with anything. And their shots seemed pretty random
Totally random.
Never at any point was I sure why anything was happening.
You know, and then if they had the group in a room, they weren't blocked off properly to where, you know, there was any kind of logical flow or movement of, you know, how they got to A to B.
And the camera was perpetually here.
Yes.
It only showed about here up, and then it would go to someone else and show them from here up, and it would go back to the person who was originally talking.
Yeah, that was
it was
the
close-ups
direction.
for an hour and a half.
You can't open now.
Zach.
Yeah, that part of that, you know, like the cinematography doing that. The cinematography had no ability to draw your focus to any part of the scene. The scenes weren't constructed. Like
there were no wide shots.
No wide shots. Yeah, absolute mess. And now, if you are going to shoot like this, right, then you should probably have good actors.
Maybe.
Because then they might be able to salvage something. And sadly, that was not the case. I'm not even going to give anybody's name credit. I'll just say the Asian girl was by far the worst actress I've ever seen in my life, and that's saying something. The rest did not exactly acquit themselves admirably.
And I am the nicest, most forgiving. I love bad movies. I love B movies. This was rough.
Yeah.
This was pretty rough.
And, you know, in sort of a combo deal, writing and acting, the actor who played Jack the Ripper, or I guess, as we're going to say now, Chuck the Ripper.
I can't.
Because
he looked identical to Chuck Norris. Identical.
Yes.
And so I know by this fact that whoever did this movie or cast this movie or costumed this movie, you didn't research 1888. I know it. I just know it's a fact. I know you didn't.
No.
Jack the Ripper looked kind of like a cowboy, had a Chuck Norris, like he looked like Chuck Norris. I couldn't get over it.
Very well-groomed beard for 1888.
He looked like a cowboy.
He did.
That's not what gentlemen, or even, you want to argue Jack the Ripper might not have been a gentleman, I don't know, whatever it is, but
he was.
People didn't look like cowboys in 1888 Whitechapel. They just didn't.
No. And again, we don't know, we weren't there, but it's a pretty safe bet that Jack the Ripper also was not a raving lunatic.
He was perhaps mentally stable,
but he was methodical insofar as he wasn't caught. There was the
cuts were
you know, talented. This guy is just a loon off this rocker. Again, the writing, the acting, whatever you want to say. And then, you know, they try to wrap up the whole thing with this insanely, you were actually asleep.
I did not. Part. We are now in the territory that I did not see.
Yeah, so prepare to have your mind not blown. They wrote in somehow, some way, convoluted that all these people at this thing were descendants of Jack the Ripper's victims that somehow had kids. Not, of course, after they were dead. That might be mildly interesting. You know,
but they were all prostitutes in the 1880s, and like, how do you track that? Because records didn't exist.
I mean, it goes on and on and on. How did all of the descendants wind up as writers, as in this room, as with this project? Yeah, I mean, look, we could go on and on and on, but we're just clearly beat up by the whole experience, so let's move it on. And it is Pinhead time.
Oh.
Not exactly sure this is going to be a surprise to anybody watching at home, but we got to do what we got to do. We got to justify it, so go ahead. What are you going to give?
We've only done this on one other movie.
All right.
And I didn't even do it. It was you.
Oh.
But
I do.
I'm not giving it a pinhead. I'm giving it a bald head.
Yes.
Because if you make a Jack the Ripper movie, which excites my very being and my very soul, and you screw up that movie to the point where I fall asleep. We are so far off course that there is no pinhead for that type of.
Nope. All right, a bald head it is for Lexus. All right, well, you know, I'm kind of known for not giving quite as many pinheads as you have, and if you go the bald head. I was going to go the bald head as well because we don't have anything lower than that. Bottom line on this one is just pour some battery acid in your eyes. It'll be a much better experience. Your bald head, my bald head. It's going to be a bald head movie.
Nothing.
I can't take it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it.
Stop it. It's not worth it over this piece of crap movie. Just You know, we normally tell you to go watch it, but don't.
No.
Just
save your time. No.
Subscribe. All of our social media and our channel. We don't normally have movies this bad that we review.
Nah, you know,
so
fuck it. Oh, it's fabric softener.